for a while until I met Bob Bogle. I was working in my dad's car lot, and I was considered to be the lot boy. Bob Bogle came in one time. I didn't know him at all, and he wanted to buy a car. He said, "How about that car over there?" He'd point to, and I said, "Nah, you don't want that car." You know, I was a terrible salesman. A good salesman would say, "Yeah, that's a car for you." He and I got to talking, and we got along real good. And so I asked him, I said, "What do you do?" He said, "Well, I'm in the bricklayer trade." He got me a job. The first thing I did was I was a hod carrier. As a lot of people know, it rains a lot in Tacoma and Seattle. So a lot of times if you're working outside, replacing the mortar between bricks, a lot of times you can't work. Bob and I, we thought, what are we going to do? You told me you play a little bit of guitar, and so do I. Why don't we buy a couple of guitars, and when we're not working out of town, we have nothing to do anyway, might as well try to learn how to play the guitar. In 1959, we bought 2 guitars in a pawn shop in Tacoma, Washington, and we probably paid $10 or $15 a piece for them. And the strings were, I don't know, half an inch from the neck. Those guitars were so hard to play. But we bought chord books and things and learned everything we could. And then we thought we'd step out and, pay a down payment on some Fender guitars, which we did.
I think something that really set the Venture sound apart from other groups is how they utilize 2 guitars to really fill out their sound.
Normally you think of there's the lead guitar and the rhythm guitar, and they're always, the lead is always in the front, the rhythm's in the background. I thought of it as not as important. But in the Ventures, both guitars were always just as important.
There was only 2 of us to begin with, 2 guitars. I tried to make up for not having a drum, and he tried to make up for not having a keyboard. By using the whammy bar, make it wavy.
The guy playing the lead, which I believe was Bob Bogle, but I didn't know that then. But the guitar was really twanging. It was going meow, meow.
The lead was great, but the rhythm parts were always just as interesting.
Don Wilson is a really interesting rhythm player. I looked at his amp settings. He's got the high end cranked all the way, and he's got the low end cranked all the way off, and he's playing it, and it's a percussive sound.
Just the rhythm, man. Din, 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 din. It was just straight ahead.
Mostly downstrokes. Not dee-dee-dee-dee-dee. I never did that.
That kind of rhythm was unheard of. And when I was a kid, nobody played like that.
I mean, I just really beat on it.
He didn't just strum a chord. He didn't just play arpeggios. He always made it interesting by muting, adding reverb, and making it a little more percussive.
Me playing real hard rhythm and him playing that kind of style, when we got a bass and drummer, it just stuck. We thought we were, versatile, so we called ourselves the Versatones. And we went to register the name, and thank God it was already taken. Otherwise we'd be the Versatones. For about 2 weeks we called ourselves the Impacts. Remember that. And then my mom said, you guys are venturing into something new. Why don't you call yourselves the Ventures?